Youngwon Che's transfer over to the new squad of G-Touring have affected his playstyle or even his individual gameplay? We have to find out in this first match against Suwon Lee on the Destroyer with Oh Yeah, trying to put some points back for both sides. They're both up in the area trying to make something happen. Destroyer gets the first damage on, but Youngwon Che puts the landmine down, tries to make something work of it, but he just keeps spinning around with the Destroyer.
The Typhoon neglected that landmine. Playing the Destroyer is pretty good. The reactions are solid right now. Puts down the Ember Stomp, but you know, obviously Youngwon Che is gonna keep his distance until that goes away.
For sure. And Youngwon Che is going to be just looking for a good opportunity. We've seen this kind of playstyle just from Season 2, and this guy is a good opportunist where he just comes up with the right timing of when to use his skill. This is good with the body swap. This is very nice, putting the landmine damage onto him. Some minor damage, but definitely a statement state maker where he puts in the Poison Breath to troop in the Bombard and to put in some additional damage as well. Now Suwon Lee on the Destroyer is out of his escape. So Youngwon Che playing very composed for the early 1 minute. Oh, puts down the landmine actually. Just lands almost in midair.
Yeah, and the Destroyer's out of his tap escape and his persistence. However, Youngwon Che is taking some damage. Finally, he uses his stealth. He wants to create or make an opportunity right now when the Destroyer is out of both of his escapes.
And it's very much a good opportunity for Youngwon Che to make his statement here, because this will be the chance. The 5 seconds is all he has. Now he knows that he's knocked down. He's going to be trying to look for something happen, but Suwon Lee doesn't get that to connect the landmine action. Very nice from Youngwon Che. Youngwon Che, very impressive as he was from Season 2. He's going to be looking to do the same. He's going to put him in the area onto the additional damage onto the webbing. Is going to be usual format for the assassin, but Youngwon Che showing his impressive moves going onto the singles in game 1.
Yeah, and the Destroyer does get his tab escape back as well as the assassin, but he has to use it right away.
Youngwon Che really clinching this victory right now. The Bombard with the additional damage, the landmine will likely connect, and that's going to be enough damage to finish him off likely in the next seconds to come.
Okay, he's healing with the Stone Shield.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, if it does go down, even though there's 50 seconds left, I'm pretty sure Youngwon Che is not going to allow it go down to a TKO. However, even if it does, it's obviously Youngwon Che has put in more damage.
And Youngwon Che is really just a glimpse of fresh air that we really expected from Day2. And this player has impressed us from the previous season, and he's even gotten better, it seems like, just so composed in every play that he's been making. So Youngwon Che is feeling very good about himself. Another landmine didn't land, supposedly.
It didn't land, but he did predict that the Destroyer was going to come in.
Puts him in the down, knockdown, and it's going to be the string into poison damage, and it's going to be putting in the last strike. Seemingly, that's going to be good enough. The Bombard to finish him off, and Youngwon Che gets the first win for G-Touring, and a good showing from him once again. Good to have him back.
Yeah, good to have him back. And usually an assassin would, you know, finish an opponent with the stab or, you know, something lightning rod or something, but Youngwon Che loves the Bombard, because if you guys remember, if you followed blade&soul since last year, Youngwon Che, when he subbed in for SWAT, that's when we first saw a Bombard being used in an effective way against a summoner. So, you know, Youngwon Che, when he comes out, all I remember is last year's Bombard assassin. And he's keeping that with him all the way up to this year.
And along with Season 1, Season 2, Youngwon Che was one of the primary assassins who popularized the Bombard usage, and the effective use has really spread over to the Western countries as well, with Europe and NA making effective uses of their assassins using the Bombard as well. So Youngwon Che really a trendsetter for this assassin meta, and these Bombard effective use of them, the quick landmines are very good uses of that we've seen in a couple of occasions throughout this match. But just like I said, just a breath of fresh air. It just seems like with Youngwon Che coming back into the meta and just coming back to this tournament to impress us once again.
I love that Bombard ending. Very well played by Youngwon Che. Unfortunate for Suwon Lee. However, it's just the first match, so we still have the second, and we have the big tag match coming up in the third match. So, you know, don't worry too much. Don't get tilted. Oh yeah, you guys still have a chance to come back, take away the momentum from G-Touring.
And definitely the excitement point is there for already from game 1, and just like that, when you dominate someone as such in the tournament and you get the game 1 in that dominated fashion, it just gives a lot of momentum to your team, and it's going to be looking very good for Youngmin Park, who's going to be the second one up on your favorite KFM again. And it's going to be Oh Yeah with Sang-Won Lee coming out on the Assassin this time, and it's going to be the second match to decide whether Oh Yeah can pull it back to even or G-Touring will run away with a 2-0 victory. And it's going to be a good one to watch, because this is an essential part of where Oh Yeah, with his very cute pillow, I have to say.
Yeah. I was
you want to mention it earlier.
I was looking at that. All right, he got his pillow. All right, let's see how you do, Sangun.
So whether that is a violation of the regulation to have such a cute pillow during with the game adds a buff to Sang Lee, obviously. But as we said earlier in the interview, Sang Lee is supposed to be the carry of this team, and him performing well on the singles will have an effect on how they do in the tech match. And so it's going to be a very important thing for definitely for Oh Yeah. And so Sang Lee has to perform this time around to get his point back to even. But we're going to see whether Sang Lee can pull his team back to even at 1-1 with Oh Yeah and G2ing the second match, the second singles coming right your way. So let's get it on. This is definitely an important one for Oh Yeah, because Sang Lee performing well, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be very vital in how they carry on with the tag match that will eventually come up in the third match. Sang Lee on the Assassin trying to do some work against Youngmin Park's KFM, but okay, trying to be landing.
Yeah, that triple kick landed through that decoy, and Sang Lee has a yellow helmet this time around instead of the blue one.
The first showing of the yellow helmet, how that's going to make a difference, we have to see. The Dino helmets are always effective, but this time Sang Lee tried to make this work, put him under the stun, onto the damage, and Sang Lee putting just not much answers to this because he is out of his escape, still putting in another stun, and Youngmin Park just going to be almost done nicely. Just putting in the continuous amount of damage is going to be good enough to finish him off. The knockdown seemingly going to be, just barely enough, but not enough style points for the ending. The knockdown finish would have been nice, but KFM, but Youngmin Park showing his usual stuff. He always shows the textbook plays. We've seen that from Season 1 to Season 2, and just back in Korean finals to do exactly to what he's always been good at. That's just textbook plays that we always expect from a KFM.
Yeah, and Sang Lee just seems like, he was kind of surprised of how fast the match ended.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't get that buff from the pillow.
The pillow.
Yeah, like the Assassin is supposed to be the mobile one. He was supposed to be controlling the field. However, he was forced to use both his escapes, and Youngmin Park, being the experienced player, knew that he was out of all of his escapes, and landing 1 CC, KFM's just gonna finish you off.
And just not, it wasn't even just one stun though, it was the 2 consecutive stuns putting in that series of damage that obviously Youngmin Park knows that whenever he with the KFM does put the stun up in crucial times when you don't have an escape, the continuous damage definitely will be there with the particular class that he has.
Yeah, and Youngmin Park, even though they G-touring the team itself hasn't been, getting too high, but they have been always making it up to, at least top 6, top 5 on the rosters. So they want to try to get up there, and I'm pretty sure they've been practicing. And one of the things, Woo-Bin Cha has been switching classes to see what fits the team better. And this time around, they also got Young-Woon Che on the team. So I want to see how this plays out.
And just really an important thing of G-Touring being the experienced team along with Oh Yeah, who has been working seemingly for these past months after Season 1. They did qualify for Season 2, so they have been working on their strats and trying to see what works best for them. But with the singles that we've seen so far, it just hasn't seemed to find an answer according to just this G-Touring team in particular. But we're going to have to see how this will transpire into the tag match that will come forth. But we want to keep talking about this, but
no. Right now, we just got word that there was a technical difficulty with Sang Lee's mouse. So
did it happen in the game?
I'm not sure. They didn't tell us that we're gonna do a regame or not. But right now in the booth, they are changing or fixing Sang Lee's mouse right now. So soon we'll find out if they're just gonna go on to the tag match or redo the second match.
And we will give you guys the word once we do receive the confirmation that a rematch will be happening from this. But definitely Sang Lee, seemingly supposed to be the carry of this team, didn't play as to par as to what the teammates were probably expecting of him. So if he does go to a rematch, I'm sure Youngmin Park would love to have that and try to finish him off once again. But oh yeah, if they do get the rematch on, this will be a huge opportunity for these guys because they will need every point possible in this best of 4.
Yeah, and every time there is a rematch, I always say this, whoever called the rematch should be prepared to win because you
yeah.
call a rematch, even though it was a technical difficulty. Like you call the rematch, you definitely have to be ready to show something else, something more than the previous matches or the previous showings that you had
Of course,
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I think,
let's see.
yeah, just silently, it still hasn't been confirmed yet as to how this opportunity, how this situation will be continued, but just seems like no word has come yet. But let's talk about the game itself, though. Just from the first showing and the second showing, obviously we knew Youngwon Che was a superstar and unknown, and he's just bringing his play back in style for this new team in G Touring. But how do you think G Touring's power level compare that of OEM?
Oh, well, Youngwon Che is definitely a good quote-unquote replacement or a new recruit to come into G Touring. But before getting into details about the skill levels, I want to just talk about how, if you guys remember last season, G Touring they said they're going to disband if they don't win. And they're back here. I was surprised. I was like, hey, G Touring, wait, there's a G Touring still?
Yeah, I almost forgot about that statement. So that promise has been made last season. So they didn't keep their promise. They didn't disband, but they partially disbanded with sending Byung-Woo Kim. Oh, and it's a good time for us to talk about this as well. So you saw that roster changes did happen with G Touring. What happened was Byung-Woo Kim was transferred over to Coup d'etat. Yeah. So that's going to be a big news that I'm sure you guys will see actually make a difference once we do get into the champion stage of the tournament. But just right now, you guys know that Byung-Woo Kim, who used to be in G Touring, is now over to Coup d'etat. And another surprising news that, I really didn't want to mention it now. I wanted to wait when the right time was coming. But every time you just mention Jin-Yu Park, I just have to say how this is unfortunate news.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you anymore because we have to go to the match. We'll see if this is going to be a rematch or up to the next match. Most likely going to be a rematch between Sang-Won Lee and Youngmin Park on the second match. We have to see how this will go on, but the news will come sooner or later, but not right now. Let's get on to the second match. Let's get it on. Oh, I apologize. This is actually the game 3 is going to be going to the tag, so it will be 2-0.
They didn't tell us, so it's fine.
But with the clarification now on the screen, obviously you guys can see better than we can. So obviously the game 3 is going to be having underway with the tag match coming for our way. So 2-0 currently up for G Touring, so that's going to be a huge advantage. So if they win this one now, that's going to be basically the end of the series. So with this being said, Jae-Yu Kim on the Warlock is going to be the first one up for and Youngwon Che is actually out on the Warlock, as we mentioned, that's going to be his flex. So he's not with the Assassin this time around. He's coming out with the Warlock. Both familiars out, trying to put some damage, but Jae-Yu Kim definitely gets a better part of that trade for the first part.
Yeah, we'll see how Youngwon Che performs on his Warlock, because yes, he is a very formidable assassin, but for the team, he sacrificed this assassin and is on the Warlock. And just because the Warlock is good for the team, maybe he will perform well, but if he doesn't, then he might want to switch back to his assassin. So we'll have to see what happens on this match.
So we saw the interfere coming in from both sides, but not too much damage happening, but it does force out the escape from Jae-Yu Kim.
The tether blade connecting, forcing that stealth out of Sang-Won Lee right away.
So Sang-Won Lee comes into the field, but has to use the tap escape right away because he has been getting that tether blade on. So this is a good chance for Youngwon Che to make a statement. He has all of his resources available that he can freely use as he likes.
All right, Youngwon Che is not doing bad. He's doing pretty well. There's 10 seconds left for that force tag, which means he gets to save a tag point as long as he keeps his distance and doesn't let his teammate get chased right when the force tag happens.
And it's already a win for G Touring because they get a free tag point, whereas Sang-Won Lee from had to use a tag point to get himself in. So already a win for G Touring so far. So Sang-Won Lee trying to make something happen from here, but Youngmin Park doing a good job as he did in the second match, trying to do the same against the same opponent that he faced in game 2.
Yeah, Youngmin Park comes in right after the force tag, using the flurry so he doesn't get chased. And there we go, the Warlock tags in on OES side, giving the assassin back his escapes
Yeah.
to make it even.
To make the time distortion to get the escapes back. Now Silent Lee has all of his escapes back. He has to make them to good use, but puts it on the landmine, doesn't pop it yet, so he doesn't have any range to pop it. But Gyeongmin Park on the KFM doing good work, trying to make this work. The landmine is still there, so puts him on the stun, and that's going to be good enough to force out the tap escape once again. The bombard is coming in from the stun, so I think Gyeongmin Park should have used the escape before the bombard does came in, but it's hard to predict that.
Yeah, but overall, Gyeongmin Park is performing very well, and that chase right there with the force tag.
Oh, that wasn't a force tag, it was actually a tag point
Okay,
used.
it was tagged out, but
so
very good timing.
Yeah, so 9 seconds left. He could have just stalled it up, but I think he didn't want to take the risk, and now had to use another tag point. Now G-Touring is completely ahead in the resources they have in regards to the tag points they have. So now Jae-Yu Kim, as soon as he comes in, he already uses the tab escape. So G-Touring, just so many advantages that they have right now. But actually, before I say that, the Warlock puts in a lot of damage onto Gyeongmin Park, who is forced to tag out. Now first to use their first tag point of the match with G-Touring. Now Woobin Cha is back
gets
out.
pulled in. Woobin Cha is on the Blade Dancer for the first time in this series. He's always been, like I mentioned, a Warlock and a Soul Fighter, so let's see how well he performs on this Blade Dancer.
But definitely a Blade Dancer, still a meta pick that every team likes to rely on. So, you know, Woobin Cha decided to go with the team-oriented pick with the Blade Dancer this time around. So whether he can do something with that, we have to find out. But Jae-Yu Kim putting good damage, trying to put on good damage without taking much himself. To puts the familiar out now onto Youngwon Che, trying to do something with it.
Yeah, we have the Warlock mirror. Warlock mirror. I mixed that up. However, yeah, let's see. Youngwon Che actually performed pretty well.
Yes.
For the first time playing Warlock on the live stage.
Yeah, I think so, because he did have to use the free tag points, so he got a lot of tag advantage just right there. So that already was a win in itself. So using time distortion to get the tag, to get the escape back. But now the Destroyer Silent Lee is out, so another tag point having already used, but this is not good enough. Not a good tag, because that's already
Silent Lee interferes in. He gets into the aerial, and Youngwon Che ignores the Destroyer, and he just finishes off Sangwon Lee.
Lee, what a crucial mistake that was. He didn't even die off the stage. He just died off of an interfere. And that was actually good enough damage coming from Youngwon Che on the Warlock. We know how much damage potential a Warlock has, and he really showed it just there. Knocking off the Silent Lee on the Assassin just basically in one try.
Yeah, we don't want to see an interfere come in and the interferee get dead. You have to time it right, and you have to know what skill to use right away so you don't get caught.
And it's a death tag is an example of what he showed with Silent Lee today. And you know, now with Suwon Lee on the Destroyer now, he's already taken so much health off of him, but Gyeongmin Park is back out on the KFM. And this is looking very bad for Oya, because another tag point seemingly used because he is on the lowest of health. So Jae-Yu Kim is now back out on the Warlock, trying to put some damage onto the KFM with Gyeongmin Park, who has done seemingly well throughout this series. Now the Familiar is out trying to make something work out of that. So without this escape that he has available, this is his chance for Oya to make some damage happen, but actually takes a lot of damage in himself.
Yeah, Jae-Yu Kim is going to have to stay out for the next minute and 18 seconds because he has no tag points, so he has to wait for the force tag. But, you know, G-Touring, they have so much resources right now, so they're not going to let Jae-Yu Kim stay out there for so long. There is
the ult with the Blade. That's ultimate, actually putting a lot of damage in the late part of the animation, and that's going to be good crucial damage onto Jae-Yu Kim. Now he can't tag out for the next minute or so.
Oh my god!
And that's going to be enough damage to knock him out. So KFM, Gyeongmin Park doing work, and he's going to be doing to finish him off right away with the Destroyer. Suwon Lee trying to make something work, but it's going to be looking very hard for the Destroyer to knock off the entire team 1v3.
I feel so bad for Jae-Yu Kim. He gets hit by a Blade Dancer ult, and then Gyeongmin Park comes in, and then he gets hit by the KFM ult, so he gets hit by 2 ults.
A good series of ultimates used by G-Touring to get that crucial damage, knocking him out. So now Suwon Lee is just left hopeless with the Destroyer. Obviously not the character you usually see finishing off a team 1v3. That's not very characteristic of a Destroyer, but trying to do his best part to do that. But Gyeongmin Park doing standing strong. This is very good, but there's going to interfere. The tag coming with the Blade Dancer and the KFM finishing up in style, and Gyeongmin Park showing consistency is the exact word I want to use for that play, because Gyeongmin Park has made very little crucial mistakes for his team and did everything right. Of course, we've seen him do that in the past, but today especially, he's done a spectacular job along with Youngwon Che.
Yeah, unfortunately for I keep seeing that pillow. The pillow didn't buff them. They didn't win a single game. They got swept 4-0. to G Touring, but like to be honest, G Touring is the more experienced.
I
Even
think
though
so, yeah.
Oh Yeah and G Touring, they're both experienced.
Yeah.
It's just G Touring has more experience in this live stage. They have better teamwork, I guess, because they have at least Woomin Cha and Kyungmin Park staying together as a team for almost 2 years. So that explains how, getting even a new player, Youngwon Che, into the team, Youngwon Che was able to adapt to their team play because they have been together for so long.
A lot of credit goes to Youngwon Che
Yeah.
because he did spectacular on the assassin. That part we already knew that was
yeah.
going to happen, but him coming out on the Warlock this time around, a very team-oriented pick. I'm sure that was not his primary decision with the classes that he decided to choose, but for the tag, he did go with the Warlock, a new class for him that we haven't seen from him yet, but doing really well for this part, doing everything right to get their team the team tag advantage that they needed, and also putting